In order to qualify for immunity to not get sued, you first need to make sure that the person inside is in imminent danger. Then you need to check all the doors to make sure they're locked. You can break the car window, then call police and wait for them to arrive. We're here in Roswell where officials say a fire broke out early this morning and destroyed a church. Take a look at all of this debris. Contractors were out here today pulling out parts of the wall. You can see a bunch of ash and charred bits of wood here. The wall is now covered up with a tarp. They say contractors are expected out here early tomorrow morning to start making repairs. What Lead Athens hopes is that when you take a book out, you'll put another one back in. We covered a very similar story to this in 2013 at the same gas station where a woman was filling up air in her tire when she says a man jumped into her car and stole it with her 4-year-old child still inside. Motor vehicle accidents are the leading cause of death in Americans aged 15 to 20. The school recreates these situations so that when the time comes, drivers are ready to react. This is what they say happened. The grandmother of 5 was walking down this stretch of Memorial Highway when an SUV traveling down the center lane, the tire came loose, bounced across the road, hit the curb, went airborne and hit her in the back. She later died at the hospital. Police say it took so long to identify her because she wasn't carrying ID. Hello, I'm Jessica Sooknanan. This video of a near miss is a strong reminder to drivers to be careful on icy roads. That frightening crash happened on a snow-covered road in Michigan. Police say an officer was helping another driver along a busy highway. An 18-year-old driver lost control and ran right into the officer and both parked cars. The officer was knocked into a ditch and suffered minor injuries. He was taken to a hospital, but police say he's expected to make a full recovery. A beauty queen is accused of faking cancer to get money. A woman crowned Miss Pennsylvania U.S. International is now behind bars.
There's many people out there that have family, friends, neighbors that are affected with some form of cancer, and unfortunately you have people out there who take advantage of that.
Police say 23-year-old Brandy Lee Weaver Gates told her friends and family she was diagnosed with stage 2 leukemia back in 2013. She even shaved her own head to pretend she was getting chemo, tricking her own sister. Police say several benefits were held in her honor, raising thousands of dollars.
There were some inconsistencies, such as Miss Gates's hair was always there and never falling out. She did not know the name of her doctors and other things like that.
She's now in the county jail on $150,000 bail. Well, you know you have way too much money when this happens. A 20-year-old son of a Swiss millionaire set fire to his $245,000 Ferrari just so he can get a new one. The 20-year-old hired 3 people to torch his car while he got a massage so he can have an alibi. But phone records and security footage connected him to the arson. He was sentenced to 22 months probation and fined $32 grand. The reason he didn't just buy an updated model, well, he didn't want to upset Daddy because the old Ferrari was a gift and the son's $10,000 allowance just wasn't enough to buy a new one. I guess we can all feel his pain on that one, can't we? We just wrapped up an interview with the victim who was robbed at this racetrack on Marietta Boulevard. She says it all happened so fast it took just about 10 seconds.
What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
That's what Jane Cranshaw kept asking a man who snatched her purse at this racetrack about a week and a half ago. She was pumping gas and says when she turned around, the man was reaching into her car. Her instincts immediately kicked in.
So he grabbed my purse. I grabbed my purse as well, and his hoodie.
She frantically chased him to his car.
He started pulling away. I fell down on the ground at that point, and his left rear tire ran over my left leg. And I went to the emergency room, and they x-rayed my leg. Nothing broken, but just huge. It's called a crush injury. Just lots of swelling and redness.
We covered a very similar story to this in 2013 at the same gas station where a woman was filling up air in her tire when she says a man jumped into her car and stole it with her 4-year-old child still inside.
You could have the car, you could have the purse, just give me my baby.
Hillary Grotwald told us she jumped onto the hood of her car to stop the suspect who eventually ditched the car. Her son was found unharmed. Cranshaw told us she wants people to learn from her terrifying experience.
So people could be a little bit more careful So it would prevent that.
Reporting from Northwest Atlanta, Jessica Sooknanan, Channel 2 Action News. We just left the Senate chambers where senators just passed a bill granting immunity to people who break into cars to rescue small children and elderly people who are inside and can't get out. We spoke to the senator who explained to us why he felt the need to write this bill.
On the passage of the bill, the ayes are 50 and the nays are 2, and this bill, I represents the constitutional majority, is therefore adopted.
And with that, Senate Bill 34 passes the Senate.
What this bill does is it relieves any thought or concern that a person might have that they see a child or even an elderly person in distress.
Senator Kirk of Americus is the bill's primary sponsor. He shared a story about 6-year-old Sydney Stanley of Augusta. He says she went looking for something in her family's car on a hot summer day in 2010.
And unfortunately, sometime later, she was found in the vehicle. They tried to resuscitate her, and they were not able.
Kirk's bill also comes after the death of 22-month-old Cooper Harris, who died in a hot car in Cobb County last summer. Police charged the boy's father, Justin Ross Harris, with murder. Kirk says children like Cooper Harris and Sydney Stanley are why he decided to craft the bill.
So when I looked into it, I realized we had 37 children a year that were dying from this across the country.
In order to qualify for immunity to not get sued, you first need to make sure that the person inside is in imminent danger. Then you need to check all the doors to make sure they're locked. You can break the car window, then call police and wait for them to arrive. Once the bill passes a House committee and House floor, it will go to Governor Deal before it becomes state law. Reporting from the state capitol, Jessica Sooknanan, Channel 2 Action News. Most kids these days take to Twitter or other social media outlets to speak their mind, but 10-year-old Savannah Solis took the time to handwrite hundreds of thank you cards to men and women she's never even met. Savannah Solis traveled all the way from Texas to personally meet dozens of NYPD officers she calls her heroes.
To my heroes, I want to say, don't stop. Please don't give up. Many do not care or appreciate the sacrifices you make every day, but I do.
Back in September, Savannah was so heartbroken over the fatal shooting of detectives Wen-Jen Liu and Rafael Ramos that she started to make greeting cards filled with well wishes and thank yous. One card soon turned into 500, all handmade from Savannah to the NYPD during one of the department's darkest moments in history.
Savannah is a very special girl. That means so much to myself and the NYPD.
The cards boost morale and put smiles on faces here at the 41st Precinct in the Bronx, where Savannah received a warm welcome and a heartfelt thank you herself.
It's amazing to know how a 10-year-old girl from over thousands of miles away has made such an impact on our lives. And for this we say thank you, Savannah. You are our hero.
And the department gave this little girl with a big heart the royal treatment, an NYPD helicopter flyover, an award, and lots of love.
I have a goal, and my goal is to tell as many police officers as I can that I love them and that I am thankful for all that they do for us.
Savannah says she wants to give back, and when she grows up, she hopes to become a member of a canine unit.